Hey, yo, ladies and gents, what's poppin'? So in this video, I'm going to be teaching you guys and talking about everything you need to know about Gwen, showing you what her abilities look like, how to build her, how to do all the runes, all that stuff. Riot gave me exclusive access to everything that nobody else has, so let's get right into it. All right, fellas, the first thing we're going to want to talk about is her passive called 1,000 Cuts. So essentially, Gwen's basic attacks deal bonus on-hit magic damage based on a percentage of her health. Basic attacks against champions will heal her for some of the damage dealt. So I'm not sure if it's her missing HP or max HP, but regardless, this means that Gwen is going to be all about auto-attacking. So you're going to want to make it a priority over everything else. All right, her Q, Snip, Snip. Gwen rapidly snips her scissors between 2 and 6 times, dealing magic damage in a cone. At a minimum, Gwen will snip twice, adding 1 snip per basic attack Gwen has landed on an enemy, up to 4 for a total of 6 snips. Enemies in the center of each snip take true damage as well as bonus magic damage from 1,000 Cuts. So essentially, TLDR, guys, you just need to auto 4 times before you press Q to maximize the Q damage. Otherwise, your Q isn't going to do anything. So this means things like Hail of Blades and Lethal Tempo can be god tier here to ensure you actually get those 4 autos instantly. Stacking attack speed 100% is going to be the way to make this champion unfair because of how much on-hit magic damage you do with your passive, as well as maximizing your Q damage. W, Hollowed Mist. Gwen spins up the Hollowed Mist to surround her for 5 seconds, gaining some armor and magic resist when in it. Enemies outside the mist cannot target Gwen or hit her with any abilities. The mist will move to follow Gwen the first time she tries to leave it, but will dissipate the next time she leaves. So we all thought that this was going to be like a Samira W, and until we find out in the gameplay, it might be, but it also really looks like a Yasuo wind wall. So it seems like if anything is casted outside of that W, no matter what, even if it gets inside, it's not going to be, you're not going to take damage from it or be hit by it. It honestly just seems like a Xin Zhao ultimate and a Samira W had a little baby and made an ability. E, Skip and Slash. Gwen dashes a short distance and empowers her attacks with increased range, speed, and on-hit magic damage for 4 seconds. Tagging an enemy during this time refunds 50% of this ability's cooldown. So from what this sounds like, it sounds like you have 4 seconds to go as crazy as you can with the auto attacks, and you're going to be able to E multiple times in a single fight, especially if you're running Hail of Blades or Lethal Tempo. This is going to be disgusting. All right, fellas, finally, her ultimate, Needlework. Gwen can cast Needlework up to 3 times, but she needs to hit an enemy within 8 seconds to unlock each subsequent cast. Each cast fires needles in a line that deal magic damage, slow enemies, and apply Gwen's 1,000 Cuts bonus magic damage. The first cast will fire 1 needle, the second will fire 3, and the final cast will fire 5, for a total of 9 needles and 9 applications of 1,000 Cuts to enemies. Basically, you need to cast your R and make sure you hit someone within 8 seconds after you cast it every time. It's going to be pretty broken, and the amount of like on-hit magic damage you're going to get on your auto attacks from doing this dude, there's no way this is going to be fair. There is absolutely no way. All right, fellas, after looking at everything that Ryan has given me, I'm going to give you the TLDR of how you're going to play this champion and one-shot somebody with her. You're going to start off by starting your fight with the first cast of your ultimate. Now, this is going to proc Lethal Tempo if you are running it, or it's going to start stacking Conqueror, and you're going to be able to apply your passive for your auto attacks and begin your ult sequence. Then you're going to E to close the gap and reset your ultimate again. Then here's where you need to auto attack 4 times as quickly as you can with that E extra attack speed. And of course, the reason you're auto attacking 4 times is to maximize your little snip Q damage, to maximize that true damage you're going to hit in the middle. Then you're going to press R so you can reapply slow to easily land the middle of your Q, which is the true damage. And now you're going to land your Q, and then after you land Q, now it's time to finally proc your final ultimate. And you're going to be able to shoot 5 of those little needles and swing in some auto attacks there as well to burst anyone if they're somehow still alive. You're going to want to go in practice tool 100% and practice this. I know this seems super confusing, but the sequence is on screen right here. Right now, I'm telling you right now, this is the one-shot combo, and this is how you have to play this champion. This is the most ideal and perfect way to play if you're going to be one-shotting someone. All right, let's talk about how to play in lane. So I think the way that this champion is going to be played, either in the mid lane or the top lane, it's very auto attack reliant, as well as you're needing to all in people every time you're going to go for any kind of trade, because all you have is 4 auto attacks in a queue pre-level 6. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to go for a small trade by engaging with your E. Now you could press W here if you feel like you're going to need the armor and magic resist, or if you think like a Syndra or someone's going to shoot an ability at you to negate it. And then you're going to auto attack 4 times. And then as you're planning on leaving, you're going to snip, snip, hit them with the middle of your Q on the way out. And if you need to, if you still have W here, this is the perfect time to press W, because as you're walking away from them, they're going to try and throw everything they have at you. And you're just going to laugh your ass off as they don't hit you or CC you or anything, and you have all that extra armor and magic resist. And then you basically just reset, and you just keep doing that until you hit level 6, or until they get low enough to just go for the all-in. All right, fellas, now here is a rune page I think is going to be god tier all across the board, and it's all because of how her passive works with the auto attacks, right? So you're going to want to go Lethal Tempo, Triumph, Alacrity, and Coup de Grace. Now, depending on where you go, right, you could take Cut Down if you're going against an Ornn or a health stacker top lane, or if you're going against some really, really bursty people and you feel like you're going to be low HP all the time, Last Stand is going to be perfect. Maybe you're going against Zed mid lane or Riven top lane. Obviously, Last Stand is going to be pretty nutty. And then now here's the thing. Secondary runes will vary, because we're all going to see how much, what does she have mana problems? Does she have movement speed problems? Like, we have no idea until I release my gameplay video in a few hours after this, right? So I believe Sudden Impact and Ravenous Hunter will be god tier, because her passive allows you to heal so much. Every single time you're auto attacking and using your Q, you are healing so freaking much. So a Ravenous Hunter is going to be a must. You're going to want attack speed, some damage, and then obviously you go MR or armor, depending on who you're against. So I'm not going to lie, it seems like Lethal Tempo is ideally the best option for her kit, but if you're planning on playing top lane and you don't have Conquer, you're probably going to lose to everyone you play against. You know, Riven, Renekton, Fiora, Darius, everyone that just abuses Conquer and is super tanky and heals a lot. I don't know if you're going to be able to do enough damage with Lethal Tempo. So essentially you're going to run the exact same page, but you're going to switch it to Conqueror. And again, guys, I'm doing a 12-hour stream all day, twitch.tv/Glacier, trying out every single build to see what is the god tier in top lane and in mid lane. All right, now if you're wanting to go mid lane, I thought about taking Electrocute, but really there's no efficient way of proccing it, because think about it, your only damaging abilities are your ultimate and your Q. Your E and your W are simply just utility. So this is going to be very, very auto attack reliant. So here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking you're going to go Hail of Blades, Sudden Impact, Eyeball Collection, Rav Hunter, obviously. And then again, the secondary runes are going to vary, but I think Magical Footwear, depending on if she has really bad movement speed or not, and Approach Velocity would be god tier, because the second you send out that ultimate, you immediately are going to proc Approach Velocity, and you're going to get so much movement speed towards them that you E into them and you can immediately start doing your combinations. And then again, attack speed, some attack damage, or I'm sorry, magic damage, and then MR or armor, depending on who you're against. All right, fellas, let's talk about some of the build options. Now, I'm sure there's a million different ways of playing this champion that we're all going to see, but from the information that Riot has given me, I'm going to tell you right now, if you're going to play her top lane, there is no way you're going to be able to play her anything else than an AP bruiser, right? If you try and play her like a non-AP bruiser, man, it might be a struggle, but then again, it might not be, because your W gives you armor and magic resist and negates a lot of stuff. So check this out. So I'm thinking Riftmaker, because that Omni Vamp is going to stack so well with your passive. You're going to be a healing machine just like Mordekaiser, right? And then obviously you have to go Nashor's Tooth, right? You need to get those auto attacks in as fast as possible. And you going Nashor's Tooth and all that attack speed, alacrity, and in your rune stats, you might not have to go Lethal Tempo or Hail of Blades. Conqueror might actually just be so much better here. And then, of course, I'm thinking Rallies. You know, you already have a slow in your ultimate. Really, I think more so just to make you nice and tanky, and just have like being able to slow with your Q might be nice. But then again, this might be an optional item. I'm thinking Riftmaker plus Nashor's Tooth, and then you go completely situational. I even threw a Zhonya's and a Cosmic Drive in there, because she has no movement speed. I mean, she does have a gap closer that is on an extremely low cooldown. Imagine if you were proccing that Cosmic Drive every few seconds. I even think a Lichbane could be god tier here, because of how often you'd be proccing it. And then of course, slapping on a Rabadon's if you get super fed. But to be honest with you, after those first two items, guys, I think you're going to be god tier with all that true damage you do with your Q and with Riftmaker. Maybe again, maybe even throwing in that Lich Bane third item might be god tier here. And then here's the thing. I don't know if Sorc shoes are going to be necessary because everything in your kit screams, hey, I need to land my true damage Q to maximize my damage, right? So I'm thinking maybe even going some Ninja Tabbies might be nice. Merc Treads, depending on who you're against. All right, guys, now here is a mid lane version of this build. Now, of course, you could make Night Harvester. You could probably do Rocket Belt. You could probably do any mythic item on this champion, like for real. But let's be honest, if you're not running Everfrost as a mid laner, you're a troll. You're 100% you're a troll, because Everfrost is the most broken item in the game currently for a mid laner, right? So you're gonna want to go Everfrost, and here's the cool part about Everfrost. So you know how you need to land the middle portion of your Q to get true damage, right? Well, why not just Everfrost and then press Q right in their face? What are they gonna do? 100% guaranteed that you land your true damage Q. So I don't see that being beaten by anything. And then of course, what are we gonna do? We're gonna go Gnasher's Tooth. We're gonna go Sorc Shoes. And of course, you gotta go Lich Bane, because this is more of a bursty play style. And this isn't like an extended fight type thing. This is, I'm trying to jump in and I kill you the second I jump in. And then obviously you end it with the Rabadons. Now, don't go Void Staff if they're not stacking any MR. You could easily go a Morello for anti-heal. This all just depends on what you need for this game. All right, fellas, that's pretty much it. So I'm going to be experimenting with this champion for 12 hours straight, non-stop on twitch.tv/theglacier today, dropping tons and tons of videos on my YouTube channels this week. So seriously, come on by if you guys want to see what I'm doing and ask me any questions, because I am studying the hell out of this champion. And I might even become a Gwen main because this champion looks so damn fun. So hope you guys love the video. Make sure you subscribe. And don't forget, in a few hours after this video drops, a full gameplay video will be released on this channel. All right, fellas, good luck. Thanks for watching. Peace.